I don't know why it played twice. I was like, wait, why is it starting a second time? I didn't have it on loop, and I guess it defaulted to loop in the studio or something. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the stream, everybody. It is I, Eric, and I am here with 3Dub tonight. Unless he's not there.
I'm here.
Okay. Are you tired or something?
No.
Okay. You sound a little low. Let me adjust my microphone here. Maybe it's the right mic. All right, try now.
I'm here.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Now I can hear you. All right. So, welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast Pop Culture in the Dark. It's going to be our second stream about Fantastic Four. We do have some other news to talk about tonight. If I can get my mouse to work. I think I need a new battery for my mouse. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that in detail with spoilers tonight, which we waited on last week. Make sure I have my notes open here, and I do. All right. And as of right now, for some reason, I guess some of the special guests that were supposed to be here are in San Diego for Comic-Con this weekend. So I don't know who's going to make it and who isn't. So we'll see. As far as I know, Jake is going to be here. Darren had a stream, but I think he went to bed. I don't know. Have you talked to him at all, 3Dub? I think he went to bed. Okay.
Last time I checked, he was streaming.
Okay. I know he's done with his stream, so we'll see if he shows up. I don't know who's going to be here, but we're going to be talking about spoilers for Fantastic Four. We're going to look at the box office numbers, what my thoughts are on all of that, as well as Superman's box office numbers. So we got a lot to talk about tonight. And there is a few bits of news we'll go over as well. So we have all that to discuss. But anyway, before we get into that, 3Dub, how was your weekend? Because the last time I talked to you was Thursday. So what was your weekend like? Did you have a good weekend?
It was pretty good. I am going to see Naked Gun Friday. So
okay,
something to look forward to.
They're trying to bleed us of money, essentially, with movie tickets. So,
hey, my dad's paying for it. So
okay, well, never mind. Go ahead, enjoy it, and don't think about how much it costs. Then, if it's going to be your dad doing it. Ronan just got done with the stream, so he might be here. Okay, well, if he comes into the chat, I'll send him a link. He said that he was going to try and make it. So if he shows up, I will send him the link. But yeah, so I had a busy weekend. I had a lot of stuff happening this weekend, so I didn't have a lot of free time, and I'm sore. I'm sore. I was on my feet working for about 10 hours yesterday, so my legs are destroyed, absolutely destroyed right now. But yeah, we'll see. My Jester Bell video went up a few hours ago. We're not going to really talk about that too much here, but it is available on the Debunks channel if you guys want to check it out. It's a long viewing. It's like a longer video. I think it's like an hour and something long. So don't go over there expecting to get done with it quickly. So anyway, all right. So I don't know where we should start out. We do have a super chat. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll take a look at super chats first. We have one here. Starting off, our goal tonight, it is teal or higher, I believe, is what I have it set at. With Naruto, $2 super chat. Twisted Metal release starting on Thursday, 3/22/23.
Huh?
Is there some significance to that number? Jake has arrived. 32. What is that? Is that a game reference that I'm not getting for Twisted Metal?
What is it?
Twisted Metal release starting on Thursday, 3/22/23. I feel like I'm missing something. Somebody explain the joke to me. For the reference.
I feel like I know that.
Hey, what's up, South Texas Shark? Oh, episodes per week. Okay.
So it wasn't a joke after all.
No, it was just a release schedule. Okay, so 3 episodes, 2 episodes, 2 episodes, 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
No, I was thinking of the TV series because the TV series had like license plate number.
Oh,
and
yeah.
shows. That's what I was thinking of.
I thought he was doing a binary joke.
I actually thought it might be like, you know how video game Easter eggs sometimes they put them on the TV shows and movies. I thought that might have been what it was.
There are 10 types of people in this world: those who can count in binary and those who can't. And anyone who counts in binary will be able to understand that joke.
Keyblade Master Jeffrey says, "Hi, Jake next door." Is that an inside joke that I don't know about?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, we'll just leave it at that. So 12 episodes. I think they're half-hour episodes. That's why they're probably 12 of them. I believe Twisted Metal was 30-minute episodes, like sitcom length.
So. I haven't seen the series in a while. I only saw it once.
Yeah, it's been a while. When did it came out in 2023 or 2024? I feel like it's been a minute.
I think 23.
Was it the end of 23?
No, it was the middle of 23. Actually, it just turned 2 years old.
Yeah.
It
To be fair, Anthony Mackie is a pretty in demand. Like he's doing a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So yeah, actually, yesterday it turned 2.
Okay. Well, that makes sense then.
Yeah, man. They clearly getting them for all those Captain America movies. Wait, never mind.
I didn't know that.
Eddie says I missed the days of 23 45-minute episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that X-Men 97 kind of varied off from like the typical 30-minute thing. Because they're just longer than the original show, which means hey, more content. But also when you look at the finale, it's a 42-minute episode, so it's like great.
Yeah, well, I know that Disney Plus had a bad habit of like releasing different length episodes for a while before they got a proper showrunner. It was wildly different. Some episodes were 20 minutes and then some were like an hour.
Yep,
and I'm like, I hated that.
And then Stranger Things took that to an all new in season 4.
Yeah. I saw some like rumors about the episode links for the final season, and I don't know what to think about it. Like, all of them are 2 hours long. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's fake.
Okay.
Because the showrunners themselves said that the episodes weren't going to be as long.
Okay. Because I was like, I saw like each episode was like 2 hours plus. I'm like, so each episode is basically a fucking movie then at that point?
Yeah,
like,
no, that's fake.
Good to know.
I saw that too. I was like, wow, okay, you guys are really trying here.
Let's see here. I got my notes for Fantastic Four. Let's wait a second. I do want to go over sales first. So let's talk about the weekend, the box office. I had people talking to me about, like, look, because I made a short speaking about this. I don't really care too much about the box office in terms of whether I like a movie or not. For me, I like a movie regardless of how much money it makes. Like, that's irrelevant to me.
Some of the most well-regarded movies of all time now were box office flops back in their day.
Yeah. I don't ever really take that into account of like a level of quality. You know what I mean? So when we talk about box office numbers, these are strictly to see if we're going to. I'd like to speculate what that means moving forward with the movies based on their box office, like, but it's not a metric of quality. Right. I just have to reiterate that. You know what I mean? Like,
it's like, are more people going to come see it through positive word of mouth, or people going to come back for repeat viewings?
Right,
things like that. Which I've said I'm open to doing. By the way, I was talking to somebody that's supposed to be joining us later. That I've said, you know what? I had a lot of issues with the movie, but I'm down to watch it a second time and see if my opinion changes.
Yeah. I'm actually waiting to see if Ronan shows up in the chat. He said he was going to try and make it. So we'll see if he if he shows up in the chat and says I'm here, I'll send the link over. So
yeah, he and I were talking earlier about this whole thing.
Yeah, let me keep my Twitter open in case.
Is that I can't read your shirt. I'm blind as a bat.
You can't see that.
Defenders.
Netflix Defender shirt.
I was about to say
like 1970 style.
I was about to say, shouldn't that say Heroes for Hire instead? That's basically what they were.
You're right.
I mean, because the original Defenders are like Hulk, Silver Surfer, Doctor Strange.
I know the original Defenders was like that team actually is more powerful than the Avengers was. Like literally. So anyway, all right, let's take a look at these numbers quickly. I've got them in front of me. These are the updated numbers. And I might round them a little bit just because they might be so close to the next dollar amount. We're just going to go ahead and do that. So the Fantastic Four First Steps opened with a strong 118 million in the U.S. and Canada, with a global total of 218 million, according to box office reports. This is corroborated by Deadline, so these are the correct numbers. This marks a significant return for the franchise under Disney's ownership. While at a strong opening, it did not surpass Superman's movie opening weekend, which earned 220 million. I mean, it's 2 million less. I mean, I would say they're almost identical in terms of opening weekend sales for me. I would say the same thing if Superman was 218 and Fantastic Four was 220. I feel like it's so close. Yeah. There's no real, to me, that amount is so tiny. It's negligible in terms of like how the movie was received.
Well, I mean, even then, what's the point of comparing them anyway?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I think people still, the reason why I'm comparing them is because people are still comparing them because they're in the box office at the same time. But we have news on Superman. I can't wait to talk about where that movie is.
Really I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So the breakdown totals, let's look at these quickly because everybody wants me to talk about the breakdowns from now on. So we're going to do this. Domestic opening was 118. Global was 218. The international is obviously 100. I'm going to say that it's really interesting to see that most Hollywood movies are underperforming in key areas around the world. And I think we need to talk about what that means as we see more movies come out. Because we have a month where there's not a lot coming out. So I don't think we're really going to see changes in August. But come like October, November, December, around holiday season, we'll have to keep an eye on those international numbers. Because a lot of people want to act like politics don't have a effect on this. I actually disagree. I think
shouldn't as much as they do.
They just do. Like, I don't think they should either, but I think they are. I think it is because I think a lot of countries that are getting screwed over because of financial policy are saying we're not going to spend money on American things, and the easiest way to do it is to not go and see movies,
or that we won't. You know, there's another side to it with the whole tariff talk that happened a few months ago, where they're like, we won't fund things that were made outside of America, and we won't fund for that stuff to go in theaters. It's like, okay, you are just going to kill the industry then if you go through with that.
I honestly feel like, to be just straight up about this, I don't think people truly understand how badly the rest of the world thinks of us in terms of like media. You know what I mean? Like stuff they have to pay for, to go out of their way to pay for it. Like they're just not going to do it. They're not going to spend money going and doing, especially when places like Paramount and a lot of these other like CBS and places like that are bending the knee to the government. And they're like, why would I go and spend money on these companies that are bending over for the government, essentially? Now, again, I don't necessarily think, for me, boycotting is a very specific way of dealing with stuff. And there are things that I don't personally buy because I don't support the companies. I don't know if I call it like a all out boycott. I feel like it's just something that I personally choose not to do.
Just use your wallet to send the message.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're doing with these movies, essentially. Anyway, let's go here. So the top markets outside of the U.S. are Mexico, the UK, France, Italy, Spain, and mostly European and Latin regions. Asian regions are just literally ignoring this movie, and they're not really paying attention to Superman either. It did outperform recent superhero movies in international markets. IMAX contributed to about 16 million of the domestic total. The audience demographic, 71% under 35. That's interesting. That's actually really interesting. 71% of the people that went to see Fantastic Four are under the age of 35. I mean, that kind of disproves that these movies need to cater to the older audience, because if 71% of them are under 35, that's a younger audience.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's a big deal. Omega has arrived.
Omega.
Did you actually see the movie?
Yeah, I saw it earlier today.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because he put in the Discord, he was like, this better be good.
I wasn't sure what that was referring to. I didn't know if it was this movie or some sort of adult anime that you were watching. I wasn't sure which one it was. So,
just because I have anime hentai figures back here doesn't mean that I'm a total and complete gooner.
Not yet, anyway.
No, but it's really interesting to me that 71% of the audience for this movie was under the age of 35.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean,
because the Fantastic Four, I thought of the Fantastic Four as a dated property.
Well,
I thought it was an old person property.
A lot of the older people, especially post-pandemic, a lot of them just aren't going to the movies anymore.
Yeah, Anthony, I actually think this is a really good point. Not that they should stop making things, for a global audience, but Latin American markets and Latin markets in general do kind of show up for these movies.
Yeah.
So maybe they Marvel, if you happen upon this live stream, take Anthony's thoughts there. Sunday projections, Disney projected 27.8 million on Sunday. The comparisons of Superman, while Fantastic Four First Steps opened strongly, it fell just a couple million short of the 220 million opening of Superman. But I mean, again, I would put that, it's like saying, oh, this costs $50 or it costs $49. Like, literally, it's the same thing.
What was the 2005 comparison with the first Fantastic Four?
Oh, it's not. I don't think there's even a comparison. Honestly, you have to think movies back then didn't open like they do now. Even if you adjust for inflation,
and their budgets were different too. Their budgets were really different.
Check. So the production budget for the first Fantastic Four was like under 100 million.
Right, which is that's like a jar of pennies today.
Yeah, and it opened with 56, which is still really good. 56 is good. Like for all markets, so that's still pretty good. Anyway, so there's that. We've gone over the numbers. What we're gonna have to see now, the marketing machine is over. The once the first weekend is over, the marketing machine kind of dials down, and it all comes down to word of mouth and residual products like Fortnite or companies that are selling pizzas, things like that.
Marvel Rivals.
Yeah, where they've got stuff like locked in or whatever. Hey, what's up, Anthony? Good to see you on the stream. Yeah, I would agree. I think it is. I think it is a success. So yeah, total. Yeah. But look, let's talk about the movie, the meat and potatoes and veggies and all the stuff that goes with the movies. And I'm not hungry. I just happen to be talking in food allegories.
You're making me hungry, so stop it.
I always do that. By the way, 3Dub, I have a Domino's pizza in the
I was about to ask, did you get Domino's?
I got it earlier just in case.
Are they like paying you to mention them every stream?
I wish, Domino's, if you're watching this, I will take free pizza. Just give me free pizza and I'll mention you all the time. Staggervore here, Fantastic Four First Steps definitely had a classic Saturday morning cartoon feel, and I like that. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of things they did right with the movie. It's not a perfect movie, just like with Superman. It's not a perfect movie. There are things that I'm going to criticize it for as we get into some of the spoiler stuff. But I think more than anything else, they just needed to entertain people. And I've said this from the get-go. When I walk out of a movie, I just want to feel like I had a good time. You know what I mean? It's like you're going in, you're hoping for the best. At least I feel like most people should be hoping for the best when they go into these movies. You go in, you're hoping for the best, and hopefully you're entertained when you walk out. And so, Anthony, I can't wait till we talk about Superman after we're done with Fantastic Four, because we're going to talk about the numbers for Superman, which is going to make some people cry, I think.
People cry all the time. You can't do anything.
Marvel Rivals revisited interest in Malice. Yes, the skin for the Malice design, I guess I saw. Yeah, definitely 100%. I love Malice, and I love that era, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I got my notes over here. I actually did notes tonight, you guys. People should be happy when I don't do notes. Things go off the rails.
You?
All right, so let's go with the plot or the break. I guess the setup for the movie is a better way to put this. So it's set on Earth 828. It's a retro-futuristic 1960s. The Fantastic Four are already established heroes. We learned shortly after that Sue is pregnant with Franklin. The main story, by the way, spoilers for everybody in the chat. This is a spoiler stream. Galactus is going to threaten to consume Earth unless they surrender Franklin over. And the team has to defy the cosmic threat. We have Silver Surfer Shala Bal as well. And there's universe-altering choices at play here. So that's the setup for the movie. I want to start out by saying the smartest thing that what's up, Jake?
I was gonna say I love that 828 reference for the Earth that they're on as a reference to Jack Kirby's birthday. Love that.
Oh yeah. That's really cool. And I always like we talked about Easter eggs a few minutes ago. I like when they do that. I want to say there was a lot of smart choices in the creation of this movie, and one of the big ones was the choice that I was saying for years. I don't know if Omega remembers or 3Dub remembers, because Jake, you weren't around when I was saying this. I had said for years that if Marvel makes the Fantastic Four, they need to be in a different time period. Mm-hmm. I said that for a long time.
Yeah,
they've tried to do modern Fantastic Four, and it's not that you can't do it. I just don't know who's capable of doing it. Comic book writers can do it, but that's because it's comic books, and comic books, totally it functions differently than movies and TV shows, right? So yes, you could possibly modernize the Fantastic Four, but I think one of the smartest decisions they made was to not do that and place them into a retro futuristic 1960s, which screams OG Fantastic Four to me. First great decision.
It's very much a product of that time period. Like
I mean, the absurdity of the family of superheroes. You know what I mean?
I would say even though the X-Men was started like around the 60s, I say it garnered its biggest popularity late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah,
well, they kept adding more and more to their roster, whereas the Fantastic Four stayed the same.
They stayed the same.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's part of the issue with the Fantastic Four is any other iterations of them, it's always gone back to the four main characters. Like, we've had times where other people have been stand-ins. We have She-Hulk on the Fantastic Four. Spider-Man's been on the Fantastic Four. We have the Future Foundation situation with the Fantastic Four.
You had a whole new team of Fantastic Four that had people like Ghost Rider and Wolverine in it.
Yeah. But it's always gone back to the OGs. Always, right? So I think what people really wanted is they wanted this to feel familiar. But it's kind of weird to me because the audience that went to see this is under the age of 35, primarily under the age of 35, which makes me wonder, were they reading the more recent runs of the Fantastic Four, like in the last 15, 20 years? Or are we talking about people that just, their parents loved the Fantastic Four?
Saw Fortnite characters and go, oh, that's a cool look. Let's go watch it.
Maybe. I mean, look, it's either that or the marketing.
Fortnite.
What are you going to say, Omega?
Oh, it's the thing from Fortnite.
Yeah, I was going to say, or the marketing machine did its job. It convinced people that this is a movie to go see because it doesn't have any major connections to the rest of the MCU, and you can kind of start fresh with it.
That's the same reason Superman is doing as well as it is. You don't have to do any. You don't have to do any. I hate this term, but you don't have to do any quote unquote homework.
Before we go any further, do you guys believe that people are hungry for not necessarily a reboot, but stuff that's new that they can get into? Like, that isn't connected to anything else. They just really want something new. They don't have to like do a million things to get ready for. Yes or no?
I don't know if people are necessarily clamoring for it, because a lot of the ones that were into it that kind of view it as homework now, like maybe they don't really have an opinion on it anymore. They probably don't care anymore. But it would be easier to garner a lot of them back in. I feel like.
I would say so. Like, a good example for me of something that I really enjoyed in the MCU that literally had like almost no connection to anything else was Werewolf by Night, right?
Yes, love that.
So Werewolf by Night for me is a good example of, it's a one-off story that we hope continues, I guess, at some point. But it's a one-off story with characters from Marvel Comics that doesn't necessarily need any other characters in it. It doesn't have to have, other characters in it.
Yeah, give more of those monsters from the Howling Commandos. Give them those special presentation treatment, because you've got a really unique aesthetic and tone and style with Werewolf by Night, and you can do each of those for those different monsters too. It would work great.
Yeah. I want to say here with Candles Jr. says Galactus would not have worked in the MCU because all the other heroes would have been involved, and that would take away from the Fantastic Four. That was the next point I was about to make.
Well, you can say that for the movie overall, not just Galactus.
Right. But that was the next point I was going to make, was that by making the Fantastic Four the only heroes on their Earth, it made it a lot more special. Because take this into account, right? What is the opposite of what we got? A modern day Fantastic Four that takes place in the world with the other characters from the MCU.
Yeah. But as soon as you do that,
they would have not been special.
No.
Because we already have a million superheroes.
And as soon as you bring them in, you would then have to answer the questions of where were they during A, B, C, D, and
Exactly.
onward, and why didn't they help out?
Right.
And by telling it on its own Earth, they could tell whatever story they wanted, and they weren't restricted.
Right. And think about this. We have characters now like the Sentry and stuff like that. Like Silver Surfer is powerful. Like she's really powerful, and we get to see that in the movie. But her versus like all of the remaining powerhouses on Earth would have like, what if Captain Marvel would have showed up or something? It wouldn't have been much of it. The stakes wouldn't have been there like they were in this movie because of the difference in power levels that we were dealing with. The Fantastic Four had never seen someone as powerful as Silver Surfer because they fought Earth level threats. So they've never seen anything like that.
Pretty damn powerful.
And giants.
Yeah. But I mean, like, the thing about it is they were so popular and it was so endearing to see that in the movie because they existed in their own little universe. So I think that was a really smart decision for them. So those are a couple of ways that I think that they made some really good decisions with this film. The other thing is not making it a traditional origin story was also a good thing. I know some people have complained about both Superman and Fantastic Four. You know, you're kind of jumping into it as they're already running.
I like that about both of them.
But I like that. Yeah, I like that about it.
Because if they would have done it the other way, people would have complained, oh, we see the origin again.
Right. Or there would have been a time jump. Like, that's the only other option. Is the first hour would have been like us getting the Fantastic Four learning their powers or whatever, and then we'd have to time jump and we wouldn't see any of that. And so it would feel like we missed a bunch of stuff in between those two moments. Whereas in this movie, at the very beginning, you get a montage of their accomplishments and you get an idea of why everybody loves them. And for me, that's all I really need. I don't know. How did you guys feel about that?
Yeah, that's basically like how they did it in the form of like those traditional 60s variety shows where it has the host and it says, oh, here's our heroes and here's all our accomplishments, like on a 4-year anniversary or something like that. And it was like, okay, I thought that was really cool to, kind of give their origin without giving an entire origin backstory, which that's annoying.
Yeah. And like we were talking about the other day, 3W, like 3W. Why did I say a full W? 3Dub. We were talking the other day about it. And I think that it's like, for me, it's clear, like you're watching like an origin story versus like a newer movie, but you like with where the character's already established or whatever. But you said that you considered this to still be an origin story. Is that what you were saying?
I consider it to be like a highlighted origin story where we saw how they got their power. Well, we could put the pieces together of how they got their powers by them going into space. So that just like clicked, like, oh, that's how they got the powers. The end. Basically, that's how I saw the origin.
Before we move into like the Act 1 stuff, and then we're gonna talk about the characters. Any other thoughts on the setup of the movie?
I do want. My dad made it kind of like, my dad's like a history buff and it's like 7 years old, so he saw something I didn't, because I didn't think about like how futuristic place, they're set in the 60s plus futuristic tech. So my dad made a comment that like basically they didn't have a dark age, like where technology was stopped.
Oh, you mean on this Earth they did?
Yeah, they didn't have like what we had.
I think that was
they would have perceived futurism to be like that in the 60s.
Yeah, it was like what they saw the future to be.
And
which
it also like made me think like, what if they were in the same time frame? Like, what if they finally caught up to our 2026, the MCU? Their technology would be far superior than
no, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why they were doing that. They're showing you that look how smart these characters are in the 60s, and watch when they drop them into like the 2025 era. It's going to be crazy.
Reed is going to die and go to nerd heaven.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Helicarriers can fly.
Okay, so we talk about the first act of the movie. We see the team is established as heroes in the public eye. The Future Foundation ideals versus reality. It's a scientific utopia. We get the introduction of Sue's pregnancy, by the way. Let's talk about that for a moment. So we find out very early on that she is pregnant. And I mean very early on. It's like after the montage.
First scene.
Yeah. And we know that Franklin is coming along. So we didn't get to see a lot of Sue prior to that, but we do know that Sue was, I guess, is modern woman the wrong comment because it is the 1960s, but she was more of like a less of a trad wife type situation.
Right. She wasn't like she wasn't like a bombshell or anything.
Right. She wasn't like, shoes off in the kitchen cooking for everybody. So
that's why I was actually surprised. I'm like, wow, she's a politician?
Yeah,
that's interesting. That's a totally different take. I actually like this.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like a get shit done person.
Yeah. So they established that early on. So she wants to do the work-life balance while being pregnant, obviously as a superhero, blah, blah, blah. And it seems like both Johnny and Ben are happy about it. Reed is very nervous about it, being a first-time dad.
He basically had a freak out scheduled.
Yeah, that's so Reed. That's the thing is when people are complaining about this movie, I think Pedro nailed Reed.
I did too.
That character. We'll talk more about that when we get to the Pedro part. I haven't set aside on my notes here, but we're dealing with that and the and the family dynamic between them. And Herbie is great, by the way. I think Herbie's.
I thought you said Herbie was going to die.
I mean, he did, kind of, right?
We'll
get to that, but
he's still kicking, I think.
Well, because that's when Darren said, "Well, they can just remake him." So
yeah.
I didn't see him actually die though.
Versions of him.
Well, we're gonna get to that. He does die in the movie.
Wait,
die is a relative term. He's literally a robot, so I don't think he gets destroyed at a certain point in the movie.
Yeah, kind of like Ultra. Wait, never mind.
All right, I guess we'll talk about each one of the characters as we go through here. So we have Reed Richards. We have Pedro as Reed. He's struggling to balance logic with fatherhood. He seems cold often, avoids emotion. That leads to conflicts between him and the family. He also thinks he's smarter than everybody, and he gets kind of sort of in the weeds with that. And that is Reed Richards. I don't know why people are complaining about this version. He literally portrayed Reed Richards as almost every iteration of Reed has been.
Yeah, Reed is kind of a dick.
He's scientifically smart. He is not emotionally smart.
Right.
And that part, like later in the movie, it says well, you can't cook. Ben's talking to him, he's like, yeah, you can't cook, and you failed your driving test. He's like, well,
he's like that's more like a skill.
Because the bit that really sold that to me is in the third act. Whenever Sue was like, you are who you are, and I accept that, but sometimes you being you is really hurting me.
Right. Yeah. No, that was great. The chemistry between the two of them was really good. And. There were little subtle things that he did that I think were great, and people talked about him not using his powers a lot. Reed typically doesn't really use his powers a lot in the comics. He's stretchy and right. He's basically I don't want to say less powerful Plastic Man because Plastic Man is on another level with the way his powers work, but his stretchiness is part of what he uses in combat. But Reed's abilities are really his intelligence. That's what makes him so powerful, not necessarily his stretchiness.
I also like that there is a limitation to his powers too, because basically the 2005 version, he basically can make forms of stuff and also stretch long and
that's more like Plastic Man than it.
Yeah, that's more like Plastic Man, where this one he had the limitations. He started to hurt when he was being stretched.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Omega, about Reed?
Oh yeah, I think I was about to say. I forgot. But what I did kind of want to bring up was it's almost like his superpower is his intelligence, not necessarily his stretches. That's what I was about to say. It's like his elasticity is more of a bonus, if anything.
It is. Yeah.
It's not his main power suit.
But the moments where he's writing on the chalkboard and his arm is stretched out, I'm like, that's very comic.
Yeah, that's just handy.
Right.
That's what he does.
He uses them for minor conveniences.
When you see Reed on a comic book cover or in a big panel or something, he's typically used to just add dynamic visuals to whatever the scene is because of his stretching powers.
Right.
Usually he's the person behind the scenes making things. That's what he does.
He was like, everyone can make a crate, but I'm the only one that can make this.
Yeah.
Like he's
But that also leads him to be detached from people, which is what they complain about in this movie, is that he's emotionally detached because his safe space is creating things, like trying to figure problems out. When he's stressed out, his way of de-stressing is solving problems. That's what he does.
Yep.
I mean, he's even running with the whole thing with Franklin, he's running that in his head to try and figure out what the options are. Calculating that without thinking about the emotional implications, because the emotional stuff is what stresses him out.
Yeah, and the fact that just that whole interaction where Sue's not even willing to consider that, and the fact that Reed at least has, like, that just tells you how detached he is.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about that when we get to that point. We'd have a super chat here, $5 super chat from C Black. Thank you so much. Trust with the audience is being restored in the MCU and Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts, which will allow Superman and Doomsday to make money. Or Spider-Man and Doomsday make.
I mean, Spider-Man's going to make money regardless.
I think that we think $1 billion movies are over, but those two movies are $1 billion movies.
Right. I mean, like every Spider-Man movie, and granted, there's only two in this case, but everyone since Far From Home and No Way Home were both $1 billion movies. And
No Way Home was like basically a $2 billion movie.
Yeah, and it had the third highest opening ever behind Force Awakens and Endgame, and that was in a pandemic.
Yeah.
But what is that's something people got to notice about that character. Even the lowest grossing Spider-Man movie, which I believe is Amazing Spider-Man 2, it still made like $770,000.
Yeah, 100%.
Or not $1,000,000. Sorry, I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
Never mind.
That's really low.
Really low.
No, like $770 million is still a box office profit.
But I don't disagree with the fact that this might help them make more money. Like, I think it might help a little bit more. But I think that Spider-Man and Avengers movies are almost guaranteed money for Marvel. Yeah. Although that's why I think Thunderbolt should have just been called the New Avengers from the get-go, in my opinion. But that's a different conversation, really.
I feel like this is kind of crazy to think that we're going to get like $3 billion movies in a row.
Oh, they're doing like this. Who cares if we make our money on Fantastic Four? We got billions of dollars around the corner, essentially. And the X-Men are also going to be billions of dollars for them. So
that'll be just like 2019, where all three of their movies were $1 billion movies. You had Captain Marvel's Endgame and Far From Home. Like, they were all $1 billion movies.
Yeah. Let's talk about Sue Storm. So Sue was amazing in the movie for me. She's emotionally grounded, which is the opposite of Reed, who is not emotionally grounded. She's definitely got a warrior spirit. She's a voice of empathy against Reed's pragmatism. She founds the Future Foundation. She believes in peace through progress. And she's willing to do anything to save Franklin, which I think is a really cool.
I also feel like her acting felt like really like a mom, basically protecting her child.
Vanessa killed the role.
That was awesome.
She killed the role. I've seen people complaining about the casting for this. I'm like, are you crazy? Have you lost your mind?
Yeah, they're complaining of. That's the thing. Some people, before the actual film was out, they were complaining about, and I can't believe I'm saying this, the hair. It's like, okay, guys, you are trying to nitpick the fuck out of this, and it's sad.
No, it's based off the 60s. Like, what y'all complaining about? They had weird hair back then.
Yeah.
I mean, the styling was definitely done with the 60s in mind. It was like a futuristic 60s. Thank you for joining us, Minute Rice. You got done watching my debunking of Jester Bell. It's a long video, but thank you for watching. So let's also talk about her storyline in the movie. So in the movie, obviously, pregnant with Franklin and has to deal with Reed flying off the handles. Also, while this is going on, has to deal with the threat of Galactus and Silver Surfer, because basically Sue and Reed are taking that head on. That's kind of their thing that they're doing. And this does leave a couple of the characters out of the fold, and we'll get to that in a moment. But I don't think that both of them suffered from the same problem. I think they both of those two characters, which I'm talking about, Ben and Johnny, had other things they were doing. But the issue of Galactus and Silver Surfer really was a Reed and Sue situation to figure out. And so they were struggling with that. They did a great job with it, though. And I think Sue obviously has a great moment leading into, well, actually two really great moments leading into the end of the second act, beginning of third act. We'll get to that. Johnny Storm, one of the most controversial characters because of what Joseph said in an interview, which was totally blown out of proportion.
And he isn't wrong.
Not wrong at all. And it totally makes sense once you've seen the movie. So he starts out as a flashy, cocky, somewhat immature ladies' man. By the middle of the film, he is dealing with the haunting of the Silver Surfer, I guess is the best word to put it. He grows into a protector. He's aware of stuff around him. He's also very much showing his intelligence, which is something that I think a lot of people forget, that Johnny isn't stupid. He's not a stupid character.
He's impulsive, but he's not an idiot.
Right.
I like the fact that this movie is basically an apology to the 2007 one, where they both kind of went up to confront the Silver Surfer, and one of them screwed up like very badly and basically had power swapping.
Oh yeah.
It felt like
I forgot about that till you even brought it up. They did the power swapping.
It felt like a really big apology for like saying sorry, but this is how it should go.
Yeah, well, their version of an apology was the movie we got after that.
Yes, yeah. I can't wait to talk about Silver Surfer because I have so much to say about her. But I will say that the storyline that Johnny had, which was separate from Reed, because one thing that Reed does, and this is very accurate to his character, is he starts subtracting people from things so he can just do it himself. Yep. This is part of the reason why the Illuminati had so many issues and all of that, and the Maker situation from, the Ultimate Universe. So there's just other issues at hand here. But Johnny's like, okay, bet you're not going to include me in the stuff you're doing, so I'm going to go over here and work on figuring out the Silver Surfer's language, which was pretty crazy that he was able to do that. And I'm glad it was, because it gave him an extra layer of character that we didn't have in the original iterations. So I really appreciated that from Johnny. And I do see some criticism about Johnny not getting a lot in the movie. I would say both Johnny and Ben suffered a little bit from like not as much content. But I think the difference is that Johnny's content, I think, was better than Ben's.
Well, when you look at the main four characters in the movie, if you want to use this as like a point to, go off of in a moment, all four of them kind of had their own individual arcs that they had throughout the movie. And Reed, Sue, and Johnny, it felt like theirs, reached a natural point. Yeah. Whereas Ben's really didn't feel like it went.
All right. Let's talk about Ben. I saved this for spoilers or whatever because I want to talk a little bit about this. Ben was he was one of my favorite characters in the movie because he had so much lightness. He's this big, strong, powerful character, but he's also very endearing, and he loves the kids that are up there. Like, they're telling him to do things, pick up the car and do like all these great moments that he had in the movie. But Ben's story, I think, when we're talking about, because I think there was like 20 to 30 minutes cut out of this movie, I think Ben's story was one of the things that got cut out.
Yeah,
it seems that way.
Because he had this thing with Natasha Lyonne. I don't even remember what her name was, but it's the actress's name. But he had like a little like love interest thing going on with her that felt like it could have been important, and then it just didn't really do anything. And
that means there's room for Alicia Masters.
What now?
I said, well, that means there's room for Alicia Masters.
True. I wonder why they didn't go with that in the beginning, but then I think about it. This part of the movie, because they did small reshoots for this film. We know that one of the reshoots was some Shia LaBeouf stuff.
Yeah.
I wonder if the stuff with Natasha Lyonne was added in secondary because they cut a bunch of other stuff out. I don't know. It's really crazy. For me, I just feel like there wasn't a lot for him to do.
No, and that was unfortunate because he's my favorite member of that team in the comics and all across all media. So I was hoping we would get a little bit more from him.
For me, it felt like it was it had an open ending. Like basically, like because he went to like see her and he acknowledged like he was going to see her and she smiled. It felt like that was like an open invitation to start a relationship, like eventually. Like it felt like they were getting connected in the
but it's the one thing that didn't get resolved in the movie, because we know we're moving into like the Avengers movie next. There's going to be no place for this relationship in the Avengers movie.
Can you imagine the toll it would take on the Thing if his world plus her got just poof?
I mean, I think that's the reality of what we're going to be dealing with, though. I think we're going to see the two worlds merge together, and some people aren't going to make it. I want to give a shout out to Outer Space Turtle for becoming a team member. Thank you so much. You do get early access to Discord for another few days. We're going to open the gates at the beginning of August. But if you'd like to do that, click the community tab, and you can become a member of our Discord and chat over there. We have a lot of fun folks over there dropping memes and stuff. So,
and then there's Eric.
There's me, right? I read, I don't respond usually, but you'll see me drop in every now and again. But Ben's, unfortunately, I don't feel like there's going to be any room for that in the upcoming Avengers movie, so I don't know where that storyline's going to go, to be quite honest.
Oh, maybe we'll see whenever the Fantastic Four take their second steps.
Yeah. All right, so is it going to be like Spider-Man where all the titles are like related to steps or something?
Steps.
Stepping up?
One small step for man, one giant.
What's the name of that movie series where it's like they do the dance battles?
Oh God.
Is it Step Off? Step Up? What is it?
Step Up?
Is it? What is it called, guys?
It's Step Up Revolution, Step Up the Streets.
Is it Step Up?
Yeah, there's a Step Up franchise.
I feel like there's like a dancing series or whatever.
Yeah,
because it's like Step Up. It's like
Step Up to the Streets. Step
Is it called The Streets? Really?
Yeah.
It's got like Step Up, You Got Served, and then it's like one of them is like Street Dance or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that'll be that. What's up, Little Brack Time? Good to see you. So yeah, Step Up. That'll be the thing. The tagline will all be about steps. Anyway, so let's talk about the two antagonists for the film. So we'll start out with Shalabal as Silver Surfer. I know there was a lot of controversy around this version of the character, obviously because of Whammon and boobs and stuff.
Kidding.
Yeah. But I'm gonna just go out on a limb here and say that I don't think this movie would have worked if it hadn't been Shalabal.
Yeah. I don't see Norrin Rad having the.
There would have been no way.
Yeah.
No,
I don't
no
think,
fucking way.
Especially at the part when Johnny figures out her language and confronts her with it. I don't think Norrin Rad would have cared.
No.
Well, that's the thing is I talked about this and people want to say, "Oh, you're thinking too deep into it," but I don't think I am. I think that I'm seeing exactly what they had intended, right? Which is that Shala Bal's story with the scenes where we see her on her planet with the kids around her and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Her story is supposed to be mirroring Sue's story with Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
So she also had an option to make a choice to save her planet, save her people. And she made that decision by becoming the Silver Surfer. The difference is Sue is not willing to sacrifice her child or herself in this regard to save their planet. She wants to fight back. So they're playing on that by Johnny sort of showing her that she has an opportunity to save the world that she has selected, because they established that she's the one that selects worlds for Galactus. She's the one that flies around and selects world for Galactus. She has an opportunity to fix that problem in this moment and make the right decision. That's what they're showing in the movie. And to me, that was very, very clearly a parallel.
Right.
And speaking of like Johnny, he had a very powerful speech when he was confronting her with the voices.
Oh, that was a great.
I was like, you saved your world, so why don't you let us save ours? Basically.
Right. Yeah, he's showing her that like you made your decision and we're making our decision, and you should be basically helping us because we don't want this to happen or whatever. And he is actually I don't know if humanity's the right word because she's an alien. So he's like trying to appeal to her. What word am I looking for?
Empathy.
Empathy.
Yeah, I think empathy works. What's up, Ronan? I will send you a link. Hold on. Let me send Ronan the link in case you want to jump in.
The chains have fallen off.
Let's see. Copy link. Send it over here. Paste. There we go. Link has been sent.
Is the other new guest coming tonight?
Actually, she is still at Comic-Con.
Oh.
So she's not. As last time I spoke to her, she wasn't going to be able to make it So yeah, because I saw the pictures and I was like, I wonder if she's gonna make it or not because she's still like uploading pictures from San Diego.
Gotcha.
Anyway, but yeah, so he appeals to that with her. Honestly, every single decision that was made in this movie was very well thought out, even if some of it didn't work. Like I think the editing of Ben's story was probably not good, but they thought about it and they decided they could get rid of that, and the movie still. And to be fair, at the sacrifice of Ben, I think the movie still flowed well. Just Ben didn't get a proper storyline.
I felt like he was a good pilot, though.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great. But so Shala Bal as Silver Surfer. Also, the fact that she essentially, as far as we know, is taking the hit and sacrificing herself, or at least sacrificing her relationship with Galactus to help them, means that we're probably never going to see her again.
I think she actually survived, where she hit him, but it was to push him in, but she went through him.
Right. But what I'm saying,
she has a surfing board, so she can get back where he can't.
Right, but what I'm saying though is that she is a herald for him. So I mean, we don't know the circumstances on the other side of that. Like when that happened, like Silver Surfer has fought Galactus in the past, but she's fighting him by herself.
And one thing I didn't like in the first one was he exploded in between the storm cloud.
Well, let's not even talk about that one. We're not going to talk about that. So, but yeah, Maddie's saying her powers come from him. We actually see in the ship that he's able to like just point at her and like basically threaten her. So I don't know if she's going to survive or not, but for all we know, she did at least think of sacrificing herself to save them at the end. So I don't know if we're ever going to see her again, but I loved her in this movie. I think they did a great job with her. The special effects look really good. The surfboarding scenes alone, with her surfing around in like in the meteors and stuff like that, and asteroid belts and stuff like that, like it was,
and that quantum bubble they were in.
Yeah, like they literally had to. She was taken to a black hole and still survived afterwards. Like that's insane. Like.
And it shows
people understand the Silver Surfer is really this powerful. Like this isn't a joke. Like that's a very powerful character in Marvel Comics. So
yeah, the power cosmic is insanely strong.
It's busted. Yeah.
Yeah. So enjoyed her. The last character we're going to talk about before we talk about the rest of the movie is Galactus, which they did him right in the movie.
Finally.
He looked amazing. I've seen that the suit was that almost everything they filmed with him was practical at scale. Yeah. So like everything else was miniature and he was full sized or whatever, a full sized human.
He was smart too.
Well, that's the thing is they almost made him dumb and then they changed it as the scene was happening where he was looking for Franklin, and it was like, oh wait, no, he's like, wait a minute,
saw it. He's not in there. Where is he? Oh, okay, right. Yeah, he's over there.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Galactus?
I like that voice actor they got to do the voice.
Finison,
he's been in a bunch of stuff, like especially a lot of video games too recently, like Final Fantasy 16. He was Sid. He was, I forget the guy's name, but he was in Diablo 4, various other stuff too. That guy's good.
Yeah, I was a little, I don't know. In the final, I guess, confrontation, if you want to call it, they kind of made him a little bit Godzilla-like, where he's just like going through the city and stomping around on stuff.
It's Galactus, yeah.
I was like, okay, I see what you're doing here. I get this.
We have a Ronin that has been unchained in the house here. So,
how you doing, Eric? Thanks for the invite. Hey, muchachos.
No problem. Glad to have you here. Are you still out of town, or?
I'm home back now, but
okay.
I know that background.
The body is still in San Diego trying to readjust back.
Yeah, unfortunately, Glimmercast was supposed to be here, but she's also still at San Diego, so she couldn't make it. But glad you could make it. Darren was supposed to be here, but apparently his energy's been exhausted. He had no power left at all, so he must have gone to bed.
Yeah, I think he just finished a stream anyway, so yeah, dude's probably tired.
He did stream. Yeah, he streamed for like 2.5 hours.
He said he had to work early, so
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, he's usually a trooper, but I felt like he was probably really tired.
Yeah.
So Ronan, I don't know if you heard what we were talking about. We were talking about Galactus. What did you think about Galactus in Fantastic Four? What are your thoughts on this iteration?
I think that from beyond the cosmos, Jack Kirby is lighting up a cigar and be like, I'm like, all right, they nailed it right. Now send me my money and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was giddy. I did my best to avoid how he looked up until the movie coming out. Like I didn't mind the back shots, the shot of him
like
behind.
the little teasers they had like little small parts of them.
Yeah, that, and then seeing that movie, man, and that voice, I became a huge fan of Ralph because of the Green Knight and just that voice and his presence as the Green Knight himself, and the fact that they got him to play Galactus and they gave him an actual suit, which I was fortunate to see.
Not only that,
he did the motion capture. Oh, cool.
Well, no, not just motion capture. They literally put him in the suit. Everything was done to scale with him. So like when he's walking around the city, that is him.
Oh, that's just around him in the suit.
Miniatures.
Yeah. Now they did do some mocap, obviously, but still, a lot of it was practical. But the crazy thing for me is, Marvel typically, and this movie kind of broke it a little bit because they, even in Thunderbolts, I think it happened a little bit. The complaints about Marvel over designing their costumes was gone in this film. This was a very streamlined design. Like the Fantastic Four suits, I think, were very scaled back from what we normally see from Marvel. Obviously, they didn't over design Silver Surfer. It's literally just silver. There's no extra stuff there. The board wasn't even over designed. Galactus looked great. They did have a lot of the celestial type of I guess engineering in the suit and stuff to kind of be cohesive. Yeah. But over that, once you zoom out, it literally just looked like Galactus. You had to zoom in real deep.
It looked like it came straight off the strip.
Yeah. And the Kirby elements on the ship when they came in and I saw the weird angled pipes and stuff, I was like, okay, yeah, I see what we're doing here. Literally just lava in the ship. I'm like, this is crazy. This is so fucking old school
just
Marvel.
Takes the planet's engine, just breaks it all down, so it's all just lava going into it. It was like, okay, that's how you're doing it. Okay.
I didn't have a problem with the how Galactus looked, but I kind of still wanted to see him going from small to big. Basically, I wanted to see that in the film. Of how
you see that a little bit when he gets up, but they do kind of just cut away after a while for that.
Yeah, I think they wanted to avoid any Ant-Man comparisons.
Especially considering what the last Ant-Man movie did for them.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out was this helmet, because how the eyes will light up, but when they went away, it was just his actual eyes. I was like, oh, that
was a really cool touch. Yeah, that was a cool touch too. Turtle says, I think it would look goofy as a small Galactus. I mean, he's been small. I don't think I've ever seen him small, but he's been closer to a human
even when he's more
size.
Human size, he's still 8-7 feet tall or so.
Yeah. Hold on, what else we have?
The reason why I kind of want him to go to human size is to have a one-on-one fight with Mr. Terrific, kind of showing that difference in power.
Fantastic?
Huh?
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah. What is it?
Mr. Terrific.
Oh, yeah, you're thinking about Superman.
Superman just came out last week, so.
Also, I think it was really interesting.
Two smart guys.
Well, that's true. I'd like to see them in the same room working on technology together. That would be really fun.
I mean, still, that would be a cool fight.
Yeah, it would definitely be a cool fight. So I guess we can talk about a little bit more of the controversy around some of the performances, because I just want to sort of just go over it with you guys and see what your thoughts are. I think that almost every character in the film, the main 4 characters, I should say, all had something to do in terms of character development. You can kind of see that as the movie progresses a little bit. I'll give an example. So Reed, by the end of the movie, when he's dealing with the loss of Sue and you see Franklin there, you can see that he finally understands what Sue was feeling, because he thought he had lost her. Mm-hmm. And so it gave him an opportunity to be emotional and just let it out instead of compartmentalizing it. Because I don't remember if it was 3 Omega, one of you guys talked about him having scheduled freak out sessions.
Yeah, that was me.
This is someone who doesn't like to do that. He doesn't like to show that kind of emotion publicly. He doesn't like to freak out publicly. And he was able to do that through the character progression, watching all of that happen. And I think every character, even on a small scale, got a little bit of that. I think Ben suffered the most. As we said, he didn't really get a ton in the movie. But I think everybody got a little bit of that. But some of the criticism is that they didn't get to see a lot of character progression. Do you guys agree or disagree with that in this film?
Yeah, re-ask that question. Right.
Do you think that there was a lack of character progression?
For Ben, maybe.
I mean, it
Yeah,
varies,
I was like,
across,
for Ben, but
it
that's
varies
about it,
across
really.
characters, but across the board, I'd say no.
No, like you can tell they honed in on Reed and Sue, which was important and vital because they're the parents and that's they're the leaders and whatnot. But I think someone even brought up. I think it was in my stream or somebody else. It was probably my friend Hector Navarro, where he was like the first two movies. The highlights always, even people who look back at it now, is Johnny and Ben.
Yeah.
Chris Evans and Michael Chiklis. And this one, it was Pedro and Vanessa. And although yes, I wish I would have loved more deeper stuff with Ben. The stuff I needed to know, I could feel Ben and moment stuff was there.
Right.
Him looking at Natasha Lyonne from a different distance, and then especially the day before the battle, him going to the synagogue. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah.
And him going, and him not even just for faith. When she asked him, "Are you here to seek guidance?" One, I was like, "No, I just came here to see you."
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all I need to know with
Yep.
Ben. And again, me and Jake have talked about it. That shot of him looking of himself before the accident, the Yancey Street gang and all that stuff. I was just like giddy. And then Johnny, getting stuff to do. That was so beautiful, and I didn't really have an issue with it. Like the fact that like they got Reed, all of them right, but just spend more time with Reed and Sue. That was just beautiful in my opinion.
I also like the fact that Reed baby-proofed the entire world by sending everyone that was corrupt to jail.
Thank you, Lebrack. I appreciate it for becoming a channel member.
Talk about overprotective dad.
Yeah. I would say though that one of my favorite stories in the movie was watching Johnny sort of grow up a little bit over the course of the film.
Yeah,
I thought that was kind of interesting because at the beginning when he has that little speech about like what the world perceives him to be, it's almost like he made a conscious decision to not be that. He's like, that's not what I'm going to be in this moment. I'm going to do something. So he grabs all the records with the recordings on them and then goes in, like, figures out a way to speak to Silver Surfer. And to be quite honest, I don't even know if they would have won had he not convinced her
No,
to help them.
I mean, that's the impression that you kind of get from Johnny in the trailers, because like everybody kind of has made up their minds. They're like, well, he's Johnny, he's an unpredictable wild card, he's this, that, and the other, and then he kind of not only subverts their expectations and what they've already perceived him to be, but I'd say in a way he almost kind of surprises himself.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this was like ever like, I haven't seen this in live action, but Johnny's powers, he could like absorb the heat from fire and basically absorb it like a sponge, which I'd never saw before until now.
There's a lot of things that people with like ice and fire powers can do that you don't really see in live action, because it's more like just freeze them, just throw fire at them. That's kind of what they end up doing.
Felt like a reverse that happened to him with Chris Evans and Doom.
Yeah.
Daredevil, not Daredevil. Oh my god.
Daredevil and Wolverine, my friend.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
You just have Daredevil in the brain. He's like you've said that like 3 or 4
I really
times
like
now.
Daredevil. Okay.
I understand. I like Daredevil too. I get it.
I like Punisher. That's where my mind's at.
Let's see. Before we talk about the final act and our final thoughts on the movie, I do want to talk about how absolutely terrifying Silver Surfer was in certain moments in this movie. For example, the fact that she's like, I want to get inside of your ship, so I'm just going to phase through it and talk shit to you and then phase out.
Your girlfriend's back.
Yeah. Like when they went to like FTL and she's just like, yeah, that's literally what my job is to fly through space and find planets. So I'm going to jump in FTL 2 and I'm going to speed up and almost catch you. So you start shooting lasers at me, but then I'm used to flying in FTL. So I know that lasers bend. So I'm trying to avoid it. It took a lot of work to get the laser to hit her because they just couldn't.
Yeah, and he honestly, he was just kind of guessing and adapting. He's not like fast with the math like Reed is. He was
which again goes to show that he's a smart person. He just
he's not it. So he eventually just banks it because she's thinking linearly, and I guess in space everything light bends and everything.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of banked it and shot it. Kind of spiral.
Also, her speech. We talk about like memorable stuff from movies. Her speech, where she comes in and tells them that their Earth has been marked or whatever for destruction and whatnot, and she's like, the speech we got in the trailer, the longer version of that, was haunting. Yeah. It was like,
oh yeah,
she's just like, hold on to your loved ones and like, I herald Galactus, and I was like, yeah, it was like, what the fuck? It was pretty crazy to me. Again, I think they just made a lot of smart choices. The final thing I want to talk about is the battle at the end and then the mid-credit and post-credit scene. So we get to the end of the movie and they have decided that they want to try and teleport the Earth away, which I was like, okay, I mean, we'll see what happens.
As soon as they got to that part where they were formulating that idea, my brain automatically went to that SpongeBob episode where he was like, we can take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. I immediately thought of that for some reason.
But it was just like, okay, where are we going to end up? That's what I first thought. I'm like, are we going to end up in some? Is this how? Actually, I think that was it. They were trying to tease us that was going to teleport them into the main continuity.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought they were doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's funny is he does actually mention the multiverse, but when he was talking to the kids at the beginning,
like in the
first
few scenes.
He was like, "You want to see something blow up?" And goes, and the kids go, "Yay!"
Yeah, I do like that. Almost every single theory that people had was absolutely wrong about this movie. Like, I mean, every single theory was wrong. They did a good job of like tricking us.
That's a habit when it comes to these movies, man. Like everybody thought that they knew like who was safe when Infinity War came out. Everybody was wrong about that. It's the same thing here.
Yeah. So they tried to do that. Of course, Silver Surfer was like, fuck your machines, and was just blew them all up, which I thought was really funny. They had one left, right? So then they were like, well, let's just teleport Galactus away. I was like, okay, cool. So that is the end decision they have. Before that happens, though, we do get a moment where Sue comes out and speaks to everybody, which establishes that she is literally willing to go as far as she needs to go to save Franklin.
Right.
And this also is before this happens, though, there's that like conversation between her and Reed, because he's working out every reason why we talked about earlier about how to like save the Earth or whatever. So this sets up the emotional journey that they go on at the end of the movie when she ends up dying and Reed feels like he can't save her, which I think is an interesting story between them. But so we have that happening, and then Galactus, obviously smarter than the average Celestial, figures out that Franklin is somewhere else, and this is where Herbie dies. 3-Dub, by the way. When he goes over to grab Franklin, Herbie tries to stop him, and he literally smashes everything and keeps Franklin safe in his hand. Herbie was literally right next to Franklin, and when you look at his hand, you can see like the parts all ground up in his hand. So that's where Herbie was destroyed. But he's a robot; they can just rebuild him and bring him back. So not a big deal. But I enjoyed Herbie. I thought Herbie was cool. So we get told that like Franklin or Galactus wants Franklin because he wants him to be his like the legacy of what he's done, right. And like sate his hunger is what he says, I think. But we never really get to see why Franklin is that powerful. Now, a lot of people, or why not he's that powerful, that Galactus wants him. A lot of people don't understand this, but I'm going to make it very simple for people that don't understand this. A lot of people that go to these movies don't read the comic books.
Nope. Mm-hmm.
So they don't know that Franklin is like this extremely powerful character. They have no idea. They just think he's another child that Galactus wants, and his only motivation is that he says he's powerful. We as the audience assume that we've never read comics. That is the reason why we never see him use his powers in the movie, because they want to save it for the end. Yeah. They're trying to make us wait to see what he's capable of doing.
As soon as she said she was pregnant, I was like, oh boy, here comes the most broken character in all of comics.
I mean, yeah, this guy, he is like Wanda on steroids.
Right. So we have that situation.
That's why I said steroids. It's like a night and day.
Steroids, fentanyl, crack, all of them.
I mean, we could talk about really powerful Marvel characters. I would go off on a tangent here. So I present with you the Molecule Man. Let's just go. But anyway, so He figures that out. They try to stop him. People seem to have an issue. They think that Sue is a girl boss in that scene, even though it's the entire team taking down Galactus. Like, it's all of them in that scene. And it's basically Reed's idea that they use to stop Galactus. So I don't know why people are complaining that Sue is using her powers the way they work in the fucking comic books.
It's like she died trying to push him in there.
Well, I mean,
she literally gave all of her powers to push him through. And
I think people need to put a little respect on Sue Storm. She's one of the most powerful characters in the Fantastic Four.
And it's not like they made it a gratuitous thing to where this is the common thing people would complain about. It's like, oh, look, the female came in and saved the day from everybody. Galactus wasn't beaten. He was just temporarily stopped.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even hurt him. He didn't really take any damage.
Right. I mean, also this time she didn't have to die pretty. She could just die.
Well, I mean, like, the thing is, they're totally overlooking the fact that Reed jumped on his back and tried to open up his energy reserves and flood those out. And all. I mean, everybody, the Thing was knocking buildings down. The Human Torch was trying to burn his eyes. There was a lot of stuff happening. She was using her powers. And people were like, that's girl bossing. What did you expect her to do?
What did you expect a mother to do when her baby is in peril?
Right. The same people that are complaining about this, and I love Wanda, but let's be clear here. The same people that are complaining about this were totally okay with Wanda basically wiping out all of the people at Carmitage and fucking Multiverse of Madness. Everything she could do, all the stuff she could do was okay when Wanda did it, but when Invisible Woman slightly pushes Galactus over, we've got a problem.
Hell, even in that same movie, people were complaining like they didn't have a problem when Wanda did it. But then when America turns around and is able to do a little bit of damage to her toward the end, they complain about that.
Right. It's an uneven criticism.
And it gets on my nerves because they say, like, just to go on a smaller rabbit trail, in that instance you just brought up, I'm glad you did, because they're saying, oh, well, now that America's able to come in and, like, do the big hit to Wanda, now they're turning us into a gratuitous girl power fight. First of all, that's just completely wrong, because she's going after this character who can transcend portals, doesn't have full control of her abilities yet, but Wanda doesn't really care about that.
Right.
She's been her target the entire movie. So, and of course, Wanda's weary of her abilities, so she knows what she can do. The fact that America would naturally, fight back against somebody who's pursuing her, that's not gratuitous girl fight. That's the fucking plot of the movie.
But even so, how is it gratuitous when it's two girls fighting? Like, I mean, what's the metric? If we add a third one in, oh, that's over the top. Too many girls fighting. Like, what is the number we're looking for? What's the metric? I mean, you can't even have. It's a movie where 3 of the 4 superheroes are men, and the one time a woman does something in the movie, they're like, "That's girl bossing."
Whoa! That's not balanced.
That's right. It's just like it's so stupid to me. Like, the thing is that they're totally complaining about her doing that, but have no issue with Silver Surfer coming through and girl bossingly knocking Galactus into the teleporting orb or whatever the hell it is. They completely forget that part. And I'm like, I wouldn't call that girl boss, but they're ignoring that. They are acting like Invisible Woman literally did everything herself and no one else did anything. Silver Surfer didn't do anything. Yeah. The other Fantastic 3 didn't do anything.
Like when none
of them beat Galactus. Again, none of them beat him.
No, they don't.
The one thing that caught my eye was the fact that you could actually read basically you could see on his face that he already thought of a solution, and she realized what the solution was and basically was like, I know, and then screamed, I know. And I was like, well, that was emotional.
I just think it was really crazy. And then the fact that she ends up dying by exerting herself. And then Franklin has to bring her back. That scene, for everybody that doesn't understand, was to show the general audience how powerful Franklin was, which is why Galactus wanted him. Yeah. That is why that scene was there. That was the number one reason. The second reason is that they need to set up that for the next set of movies that come out, because Franklin is probably going to be a big part of those. If they're going to do anything like 2015 Secret Wars, we're talking about Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, Franklin Richards, basically all the Fantastic Four being subservient to Doctor Doom, Galactus literally working for Doctor Doom,
right?
Thor's working for Doctor Doom, like all the different Thors from around the multiverse working for Doctor Doom. So that's what we're doing. We're showing that Franklin can literally bring people back to life. This is a power play from them.
I mean, the child, the baby, whatever you call him, he can literally create his own pocket dimensions and trap people wherever he wants. That's just one of the many, 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 many things that kid is capable of.
There's a famous page, if I'm not mistaken, or panel where that does happen. You're like, oh fuck, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Does Dr. Doom like mind control or
So real quick, like very quick setup for Secret Wars 2015 is there's an incursion between the last two remaining universes, which is the main continuity and the Ultimates universe. They try to stop it. The two different sets of heroes from both different Earths try to stop it. They are unsuccessful. The only two people that survive, if I remember correctly, that are capable of doing things are Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange, and they have to make a choice on who's going to lead and who's going to be the supporting person. And Doctor Strange basically concedes that Doctor Doom should be the one in charge. And they recreate Battle World, and Battle World has a lot of different versions of the multiverse kind of consolidated into it. And that is basically Doom's world. He runs that. The Thors are his police force. And I mean, you get to see like a world of all Hulks, basically, a world of all Spider people, a world where every superhero is a woman. There's all kinds of really interesting sort of like different things on this. And there's I think it's 5 issues total of the Secret Wars storyline, but there's like hundreds of other tie-in stories that happen over the course of that that you can read and stuff like that. Essentially, we're talking about a world where Doom is the Doom King, the Doom God of this world. Doctor Strange assists him, and Thor is his police force. Franklin Richards is at his beck and call. He's got Galactus at his doorstep as a watcher to make sure that no one comes in and fucks with him. So it's one of those situations where I think this is where this feels to me like we are setting up a very close version of that story.
I feel like they're probably going to mix the Secret Wars from the 80s and this one a little bit.
Probably.
Because like in the 2015 when you had these, good versions or these bad versions of good characters as Doom's, heralds, as his minions, and then people that are typically villains like Baron Mordo was a prominent one. Like he was working against Strange in that story, not with them, not beside him. So I doubt they're going to bring the actor back for these 2 movies, but maybe. He won't even be a villain there. He'll be working as an anti-hero, quote unquote, because it'll be against a supposed evil Strange if they do that.
Right.
But I hope they take some elements from, the one Secret Wars from the 80s.
I mean, the symbiote suit would be cool if they bring the symbiote in from like the 80s Secret Wars to Tom Holland Spider-Man.
I mean, I would like it if they do that, but if that's the route that they do end up taking, what was the point of the No Way Home Venom tease?
Kevin Feige, I actually have a bookmark. Kevin Feige said there's a lot of stuff from the before Secret Wars they're just going to forget about.
Yeah,
and it makes sense because once Secret Wars happens, we're going to get a soft reboot. They're just going to leave out stuff that they don't care about.
Yeah, they're probably going to be like, oh, Harry Styles, Hercules, voice of Blade talking to Black Knight, all that's gone.
Jane Foster getting killed, like all that's gone basically.
All that sounds really fucking dope. I don't think it's going to happen.
What part of that do you not think is going to happen? Because I think all of it sounds pretty safe to say they might do it.
Any of it? Because I just think back to all the fan theory we were doing with WandaVision, and then all the stuff with not Secret Wars. What's the shitty
Secret Invasion?
Secret Invasion.
All the stuff we were thinking about.
That's one of the things that will get left on the cutting room floor. I don't think they're going to make Rhodey a Skrull. I think that's going to disappear altogether.
No, just get rid of that and then try it again in like 5 years.
I think the introduction of Doom, the introduction of Galactus and Doom wanting Franklin Richards, and the restructuring of the MCU means we're going to get a version of that somehow, some way. I don't know what that means, but I do know how that's X-Men. So here's my theory, and you're right, Omega. We've had theories that have run wild, but my easy fix for this is they put all of it together in this big 2-part thing, and they keep the stuff they like and just put it all on the same Earth, and that's it. Like the new X-Men come out of this. The Fantastic Four can exist with the Avengers. They can recast characters like Iron Man and Captain America, make them younger. I think that's what we're going to get. We're just going to get basically a soft reboot of the MCU.
Maybe get Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X and Denzel Washington.
Well, that I don't know. I feel like that would kind of take Denzel out of the running for that because they're already setting him up for a role in that third Black Panther.
Yeah, and Giancarlo Esposito's already was a villain in.
I would even go as far to say the reason why we're not getting a lot of announcements about Marvel projects is because they're waiting until Secret Wars because they don't want to spoil what they have coming. I mean, they're talking about X-Men. They are talking about X-Men, but we know X-Men.
Right, but they're talking about X-Men, but also what pisses me off is this: all those people making up rumors that say, "Oh, X actor is rumored to be playing Y character in the X-Men movie." They're not going to start casting for that shit until a script's done, and a script is nowhere near done yet.
Right. So, before we jump into some of
Harrison, you're speaking my language.
What did Harrison say?
My language in the comments there. Yes, fucking love that.
Before we jump into some stuff about the X-Men, because I do have a quote here from Jake, not this Jake, another Jake.
No.
I do have a quote here we're going to look at.
I'll give you plenty of quotes.
But before we do that, let's talk about the mid-credit and the post-credit scene. Starting out with the post-credit scene, it's just a funny little cartoon thing with like a bunch of Easter eggs in it. It's fine. If you haven't seen the movie and you sat through this and you're still like, I want to go see it, you really don't have to wait for the end credit scene. It doesn't really matter. The mid-credit scene is the big one, which is where we get to see it's been a couple years. Franklin is a little bit older.
He's what, 5? No, 4 years?
4
or 5.
4 years later, so he's about 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he understands like basic concepts and things like that. So he is old enough to like read book or like understand some books.
His favorite book is this
book is Origin of Species by Charles.
So it's already showing how smart he is, which is really cool. But we see RDJ's Dr. Doom show up, and it looks like he's.
Oh yeah, that's what I put in the Discord chat as soon as I got in the theater.
Was that actually him standing there though, or was that just a double?
That was actually,
no, they confirmed it was him. The Russos directed that scene, so that's
okay.
That was him.
I mean, I guess they really. I thought they were just not going to put RDJ there, so they wouldn't have to pay him for that. But
my guess is they're doing what Ant-Man did, where they put a post-credit scene that's from Civil War.
And then we'll see it in the movie. Yeah.
So, that they're saying that's the setup for that, and I kind of like that part of it. I still don't know how we're going to explain RDJ's face on Dr. Doom unless it's a face transplant or some kind of body swap thing. I don't know.
Being that he's from, I have an idea.
I don't think it'll be a transplant. It could it's just probably going to be a person that like has that face but is the Doom name. You know, like how you had your two different versions of Torch, one who looked like Steve Rogers and one who didn't. It'll probably be the same sort of thing here, where it'll just be that's what his face is like.
I would say like he's a variant of Tony Stark.
Well, but they did say that wasn't. They said that he wasn't going to be. I thought the Russos said that
he's a doppelganger of Tony Stark, but not a variant.
Well, that would be the same thing, though.
No.
I was about to say that's
basically you can't be a doppelganger if you're Loki Gator. Like, how does the Gator of Loki look like Tom Hiddleston? He can't be a doppelganger.
But he's not an alligator. He's a person.
No. There is a Loki variant that's an alligator.
Yes.
But
yeah, I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, though, you're trying to compare an animal to an actor when we're saying this is the same actor playing two different roles.
I'm saying like that wasn't a doppelganger of Tom Hiddleston. That was a variant of Tom Hiddleston's Loki. It's two different things.
The thing is that everybody for 2 decades now think of RDJ as Tony Stark. So the goal of the movie is how are you going to differentiate from him of me seeing RDJ and not thinking Tony Stark? Because I think it can be done. It's going to be hard as hell. I wouldn't have put myself in that corner if I was running the studio. It can be done. I mean, go look at his Sherlock movies. You can put an accent. Go look at, there's a show on HBO where he plays multiple versions of different people.
Yeah.
The thing is, the cultural zeitgeist knows him as Stark, and so how do you do it in a way that honors the character? Because I agree to the extent with some folks hesitant about him coming back as Dr. Doom, where that takes away from Victor Von Doom the character, and it just built up as a multiverse villain. And it's like, all right, we're gonna make it poetic. The Godfather of the MCU is not gonna tear down the MCU, even though he's playing Doctor Doom. So I know they're trying to maybe go for that angle, but that's the goal of the movie, where it's like, all right, now how can we make a purple man with a glove be as imposing for this team that we've known for a decade and a half now? How can we make someone who looks like a hero of ours tear everything apart and us not even think of him as Tony Stark anymore? That now he's a bad guy.
Well, two things on that.
Before you say that, we have a special. Who is this?
That's Lance.
It's me.
Oh my god!
I was just popping in to say, like, why can't we just wait and see what this is gonna be like? We're
theorizing right now.
I get it, but we're just like making ourselves upset about this. I mean, at the same time that the end of Fantastic Four already proved the fact that it's a Latveria on Earth 828. It's not one on Earth 616. All we got on 616 is Latvia. So it already proves that, okay, yeah, this is a Doom that's from that Earth. They don't have a Tony Stark. So he's just a person on that Earth that looks like Tony Stark. It's going to be hard to differentiate, but at the end of the day, we're only getting him for 2 movies.
But if you think that they're not going to, I think him being or looking like Tony Stark is going to be a plot point.
Yeah, it's gonna be a plot point, but it's gonna be a plot point. But I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that deep. I think it's only doing this because it's gonna make the heroes of 616 be like, "Oh my god, you look like my mentor, my."
But didn't he say
there's not that many heroes left that are going to be in these next coming Avengers movies that Tony's face will have that much of a meaning for?
Except in the Secret War storyline, people come back.
Yeah.
So we might see like Chris Evans as Steve Rogers.
Or Tom Cruise's Tony Stark. I'm saying.
We could have RDJ as Tony Stark. Like they could bring him back for just one movie.
Yeah, they might even do a Star Trek thing where it's like, okay, he's Tony Stark back, but then he looks like he's Doctor Doom who looks like Tony Stark, and it's that mirror universe.
It might even be a thing where the people trust him because he looks like Tony, and he actually ends up being like an asshole.
But they're not going to trust the scarred face, bro. They're not going to trust the face that's all scarred up.
I mean, it could be a thing to where you bring back like shades of those older heroes to where it's like they can't leave that world that they're on. They could only like fight there that one time.
I actually think we're going to see all of the old heroes brought back just sacrifice themselves in the final battle. That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't think Scarlett Johansson wants to work with Disney.
Oh, not her though. I mean, like other people, not all of them. I think some of them will obviously not be there,
either. But I also want to add in Kevin Feige also already said that like Earth 828 is gonna have a major plot point in the movie. He said something about a lot of the heroes being in the Baxter building, as opposed to just the 4 we have now.
Yes,
I mean there's a photo out there of Doomsday where you see a FF member with other heroes, and it's just like
with other mutants too.
And I'm like, I wonder what this. I can't wait to see the movie.
I'm just going to say, like, we thought that Deadpool and Wolverine was like a feast for the eyes. I think this is going to be next level of that, personally.
That's one of the things I'm most interested about going into this movie. Like, I have a little bit of, speculation, a little bit of, I don't know if anxiety is the word, apprehension, I guess, as to, how they're going to bring together this new Avengers group, which they should have done before now, but that's a different story. Yep. But how are you going to make, what is going to be the thing, or I guess the inciting incident, if you want to use a screenwriting term, that brings together your new Avengers, your other new Avengers, your Fantastic Four, all of your mutants? Like, what is going to be that thing? That's what I'm most interested to see.
Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Here's the thing, because the momentum hasn't, for me, been fully effective going into Doomsday. But like I told most of the guys here, that like Thunderbolts was a good step in the right direction, and now FF is a good step in the right direction. I'm like, okay, the characters I spent time with in those 2 movies, I'm with y'all in Doomsday.
Yeah.
Now, what does that mean for the rest? And what does that mean for the plot? And what does that mean for Avengers movie that now has to deal with something just as strong, if not stronger, than Infinity War and Endgame? That only time will tell. But like, to answer Lance's question, like, I'm not getting angry or not. I'm just like, this is something cool you need to discuss post FF. And for the audience, don't expect me to drop 2 videos a day up until December of 2026 about why my theory is right and everybody else can fuck off and whatnot. Like,
Right.
Don't expect that from me. That's not my shtick. But it is something to be there. Somewhere out there is a good documentary of Marvel Studios' time post Endgame and right before Doomsday. There's a fascinating book and a documentary about how this stuff is going down, and I think it should be a engaging story and even more engaging dynamics between characters when we get to Doomsday and what that sets out with the world and the studio afterward.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, so let's segue quickly into a couple of bits of news. I do want to point out it's almost the end of the super chat goal, but we are 3 out of 10, but we only have I think 15 minutes left now, something like that. No, 12 minutes. So we only have 12 minutes left. We're probably not going to reach the goal, but I wasn't really pushing hard for the goal tonight, so I understand it's an hour and 30 minutes in, and this is like my first time mentioning it. But if you guys do want to donate, if we can get to 5, I will restart the goal at 5. Or actually, if we get 2 more before it ends, I'll still do a choice thing. So,
do you already have options down?
No, I don't. But because honestly, we've been talking about this, and I haven't thought much about it. But if we end up getting up to 5, then we'll be good.
There it is. There's one. Come on, chat.
There's 2.
Because everyone, there's something you need to know. He's too embarrassed to mention it, but I'll mention it for him since he's a good friend of mine for God knows 20 years or so. He has a surgery that needs to be done, so we need those super chats and we need those subscriptions. The surgery that he needs is that his balls are backwards.
Oh, okay. My left is my right, my right is my left. Yeah, they're reversed. My balls are the wrong, like left and right are swapped around. So yeah,
YouTube is killing this guy's channel.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that was a thing, but all right.
Yeah, it's not really Omega, just
it's a canon event.
Right, exactly.
All right, but I'm hopping out. I only came on to just say hello.
Yeah,
I'm back at work tomorrow, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lance, how do you feel post SDCC?
I haven't gotten the con crud yet, so it's looking up.
Here's hoping.
Right on.
We have almost reached 10 super chats because Stagger War is being very generous here.
Yeah.
So
thanks. This will go to his balls surgery.
yeah, it's definitely gonna help out 100%. Bye,
All right,
Lance.
talk to y'all later.
See you tomorrow.
See you, Lance.
We did have a super chat with a question, though. Actually, two of them. We're gonna look at those, and then we'll jump into this news here. Let's see. Hold on, where are we at? Because I've got multiple channels here. So 1, 2, 3.
I was wiped out from the
5,
con
6,
yesterday
7,
before I did
8,
my
9.
own.
We have reached 10. It's not going to show up on the thing because it's across multiple channels, but we've reached 10. So
There it is.
we did it. We did it, everyone.
Yeah.
Yay.
Ball surgery is funded.
Thank you, Staggervore, and everybody else that jumped in to reach it in 12 minutes. I appreciate it. We do have 2 here, though. Staggervore, thank you so much. Let's pop one of these up on the screen. Always coming through in the clutch. Whenever I'm like, hey, we need to reach 10 super chats, Staggervore's like, here, 99 cents each. Let's do it. Thank you, Staggervore.
Eric's like, yes, surgery money, placing Domino's pizza order.
Yeah, let me do my Domino's order. Thomas here with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Thomas. Goes, wasn't there a comic where Tony became Doom and Victor became Iron Man, or am I mistaken? Okay, so
You're thinking Superior Iron Man.
yeah, so Superior Iron Man was the same time that Ironheart was out, and Victor basically just took over the mantle of Iron Man for like 5 issues. It was like a very small run. It was like
5,
maybe 5 or 6 issues. I can't remember. But I don't know about Tony becoming Doom. There is a what if where that happened, and I think that might be the one you're thinking about. But
wait, you said it was around the time when Iron Man came, or when Ironheart came out. You mean Ironheart is a comic character?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I thought it was just woke.
It's too woke. It's too woke in here. Oh my god.
Oh, she should have been played by Ariana Grande, who's not
I know.
actually
How dare they should have completely changed her from the comics. She should have been white. That would have been better.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maddie says 189 funding your Domino's. I appreciate it. I actually Domino's is probably the most affordable delivery you can get now, considering the price of everything.
Hell, I miss the days when you could ride up to Little Caesars on your bicycle, get an 8-piece pizza for $5, and then you would feed the whole family.
Oh, you know what's funny is the $5 hot and ready's disappeared like 2 years ago. Like they don't do those anymore. It's like $7 hot and ready's now. So it's like
okay. I'm just gonna say this pisses me off to no end. I do like their deep dish pizzas that they do. They charge like $8 for those.
Oh yeah, the deep dish ones are more for sure.
Which isn't terrible looking at their current prices, but the stupid thing is how they charge you $4 extra for a bacon wrap deep dish pizza. It's like I can do this at my house.
Wait, $4 extra for slices of bacon around the edge of the pizza?
Yes, $4 extra. Like I can do this at my house for free. I'm not paying $4 extra for it.
Oh, it's even worse if you get McDonald's breakfast and you get extra bacon. It's like $2 for 2 pieces of bacon. I'm like, what are we doing here? Yeah.
Oh man, that McDonald's
that's 2 whole items on the dollar menu.
I know.
I love that breakfast, but Jesus Christ. It's
like, the price of it's gotten crazy.
Than dinner.
Maddie with the 4.9 super chat says, looks like I've got Eric by the balls with the super chat. There we go. See what you've started, Omega. See what you've done. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. We came through in the clutch. All right, let's talk about some X-Men stuff, and then we have a few other like stories to talk about. Oh, oddly enough, very quickly, Freaky Friday trailers getting claimed on my video from like 2 months ago because I guess the movie's coming out, so they're going through and they're claiming all the Freaky Friday trailer reactions. It's really weird.
Wow.
They want to take away promotion for that movie.
I guess I had to remove it from my video.
I mean, the last thing Jamie Lee Curtis was in, or not Jamie Lee Curtis, Christ.
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan, thank you. I don't know why I said Jamie Lee Curtis. My God,
she's in the movie.
Okay. Oh, yeah, she is in it. Okay, no, I knew I wasn't nuts. The last thing she was in clearly did so well for them.
Yeah. I didn't know there's a new Avatar trailer. Is it from Comic-Con? Is that where it was at?
It's the same one they dropped in front of FF. It's the same one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just finally dropped it on YouTube because for a while it was like it's only gonna be in movie theaters. It's like, all right, the first weekend's off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
We're going to talk about this, and then we have to talk about Superman, because that's crazy. So new X-Men director Jake Schreier says, it's fair to say Marvel's reboot will be recognizably different from the previous franchise. Thank God. To be able to explore all of the ideas that are inherent to some of the rich source material, that's a really great. I love hearing that.
But
also at the scale inherent to the source material, it's like a very, very rare and fortunate opportunity. It's very exciting. What I can say is it's just inherently interesting and complex material. No shit. The X-Men stuff, it's starting in like the 70s and on, is like extremely complex and very, very, very heavy character-driven stories.
Hell, look at the 90s especially.
You know what I'm really excited about is they're going to be trying to figure out how to make these movies at the cost of like the creator, and the creator look beautiful. So we might see like beautiful X-Men movies at a fraction of the cost of some of these bigger films.
That was like an $80 million movie. And it looks fantastic.
I actually think they said that they wanted to stay under 150, which I think is a perfect budget for these films.
Yeah.
Like under 150 is good.
And it also makes it easy to earn your money back.
Exactly. Yeah. It says here, and don't do AI. So don't fucking do AI. Use whatever the creator used and do not use AI. Let's see. The characters are wrestling with their identity in a place in the world. It's inherently interesting and complex material. He keeps saying it over and over again. But I think this sounds good to me. I like what he did with Thunderbolts, so I'm excited to see what he does with this.
Yeah,
like, I look at it now, and I see that price of $150 million. I don't even think you need $150 million, to be quite frank. Like you could do an X-Men movie for $99 million. Why? Because, in my opinion, I don't need like an action scene every 50 minutes.
No.
The good thing, the most unique and dare I say punk rock thing you could do with an X-Men movie from MCU is all you gotta do is just put a mansion, treat them like schools, treat some of the older students there more like teachers, so you can start building the foundation of generations and legacy and what it means to be a mutant, what it means to be a part of this community, and then take them. Jake is gonna love this, but just take them to the mall, take them to the park, do this, and put in a fight
like
sequence.
Apocalypse.
Put in there. But you don't need these like big set pieces all over it. Like you said, that's something I love about Thunderbolts. They're not that many big set pieces. Almost, I've been hearing from folks, the stream I just did, that some people were some audience members might think that the FF is boring because there's not much action. I'm like, that's a good thing, though.
That's what I loved about it, was that the action made sense. It mattered. Yes, it wasn't like pointless action. It was like, that's why the scenes with Silver Surfer and them in space is so good, because we get a moment of action after we've had a lot of like story.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
the thing with X-Men too that I really hope that this new reboot doesn't do, that you can't really call this a reboot, but the movies that took place in the past, the ones that took place there,
just Jubilee in the arcade.
Yes,
there you go. But no, what I hated that they kept doing is that you kept seeing the team reform itself. Like, you kept watching them become the X-Men, and you never really got to see them as the X-Men as a stable team.
They made so many weird choices with those films, if you look back on them.
Oh, yeah.
I think what Marvel has a unique opportunity to do here is really just do it right from the beginning. Like, make it right at the start. Because if you fumble the first one, like if you fumble the ball on that first one, it is going to be a shit show, just like what we had to deal with like all the multiversal stuff they did with the X-Men, with time travel and stuff like that in the Fox franchise. Don't fumble the ball in the beginning. Just get the foundation right, and then you can build whatever house you want on top of that foundation. But the foundation has to be right.
I would do the Gauntlet tomorrow now. Now, you know what? Before the movie, do a special with the mutants. Follow one mutant, follow that, just to get the aesthetic of what it means to be a mutant in the MCU.
Right.
And then you can start putting the breadcrumbs of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. And I think people realize that, like, all the members don't have to be in the movie all the time. Like, there's a reason why there's gold team and there's blue team. And
right,
you see, like, I mean, Jake would know this, but there's one of my favorite single issues in the history of the X-Men involves Kitty Pryde in the X-Men mansion on Christmas, and it's literally like almost like a haunted house movie during Christmas. You get the point of view that where people are at, but it's all focusing on Kitty Pryde as Shadowcat, as herself, and it's one of the best stories, my favorite stories ever, and it's so simple. Think simple, and yet, I mean, Guillermo del Toro has a great quote that he always says, that like there's eye candy and eye protein.
Right.
Lean into the eye protein. Make everything have some meaning.
Who said this? That's a really, really smart thing.
Yeah, he did say that. Yeah, and hence, I love the blue and yellow suits, but when they start having their own costumes, let that be a significance. There's a reason why Rogue feels that way with her identity. There's a
when you finally graduate to like your costume. Yeah.
Right, and they do that same thing, not only with Kitty Pryde, but also with a character like Rogue, where they started giving her own like solo issues in the 90s, because like it was around that time where she first joined. She gets introduced into the world, but she's not immediately part of the team yet. And I love I think Ronan, is it 1995 where they give her like her own little solo miniseries that leads into the whole battleground stuff?
I believe that's right. Yeah. Could be wrong, but
yeah, that little bit. And I mean, granted, you see how each of these characters work as a what's the word I want to use, cog system, if you will. Like, you see how they all work together, but if you get a sense of how they are as individuals, you will understand why they work together so well.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say before we move on is, do not make Mystique the face of the X-Men. All right, now.
and I'll say this too. I would not be mad if for their first installment. I would not be mad if Wolverine's not there.
Yes,
he should be.
I am one of the. I fucking love Wolverine. Guess what? I don't even in the first movie. I don't even.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Doesn't need to be there.
We've seen him 10 times, so we're good.
Well,
I think the
First Class carried itself without him.
Yeah, and First Class is my favorite movie from the Fox era, next to Days of Future Past. So
he was still there, though.
I'd say First Class is probably the best one of them as a team. Like, that was the best X-Men team movie.
I still don't like the Mystique stuff in that one, but it's not as bad in the other one. So
I'd say out of the team movies, either that one or X2 is probably my favorite one.
X2 is really solid. Yeah, I think X2 is probably the Nightcrawler scene alone is worth the price of admission.
Timeless, yeah.
Staggerworth, it's 999 super chat. Thank you so much. This was one of the other things we're going to talk about very briefly. Is did you hear about the split with Warner Brothers and Discovery yet? They have Cartoon Network placed with Discovery when the majority of their content are they're owned by Warner Brothers. It's not a clean split. It's not like they're. I'm not trying to give you false hope here because it's a shit show over there with Warner Brothers and Discovery. But it's not a clean split. It's basically they're dividing up content over two different things. So like Discovery is going to take control of the TV driven content, and Warner Brothers is going to be the film and streaming content, I believe, is what they're going to be doing. If I read that correctly. Everything about this, to get right back to where we started, is crazy to me. Because they started out as two separate things, and they could have just stayed that way from the beginning. Mm-hmm. They basically ran in a circle and lost money while doing it. David Zaslav still having a job is I don't understand that part, right? But so basically they merged everything together, fucked over both brands, and then split them apart.
There is a reason why Batman Cape Crusader is out on Amazon Prime Video instead of HBO Max. There's a reason why something like Coyote versus Acme is being put out by Ketchup Entertainment and not.
Their promotion's been really good for that. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
I was at the panel and I was laughing my ass off.
I think that's
I saw that at the panel and said the lawyers came up. I was like, oh, come on.
I don't think it's going to break records or anything, but I think this is a much better promotion than they did for that other Looney Tunes movie.
Didn't they show something that was Looney Tunes?
I know they showed us clips, and I thought it was a trailer, but apparently they showed us like two different versions of trailers. And I feel like if they play the cards right, that movie is going to make money and
it's going to revitalize some stuff. I saw the clips that they were showing, like the panels from Comic-Con. I was like, they said they had all the lawyers come out and cancel it. I was like, why didn't they have lawyers come out and say, wait, this is a bit. Okay, never mind. I was so off at first.
Talking about making money, let's talk about some of the people that didn't know what the fuck they were talking about with Superman, because I think it's quite funny here. So actuals came in higher for Superman, which will beat Venom Let There Be Carnage's $506.8 million run at the global box office tonight after grossing $20.7 million on a third weekend, harsh 54.7% drop due to Fantastic Four. We knew this was going to happen.
Why the fuck would you use Venom 2 as part of the comparison?
I think it's just because the number's so close. That's the only reason why. 214.1 million international Kume over at 78 markets. Allied to its 289.5 million Kume in the US. Reboot with 225 million production price tag, not including marketing, hits a global 503.6 million. Tonight it'll beat Venom Let There Be Carnage 506.8 million. 600 million is locked. So there's literally no way for it not to make that amount now based on just total sales running into this weekend. So it looks like it's going to run somewhere between a 640 and $700 million global run, depending on what Fantastic Four does to its third. No, this is the fourth weekend for Superman, right? No. Third weekend?
Third
weekend, right.
Yeah.
Third.
Either way, I think this for Warner Brothers is a green light that like we need to keep moving forward with this universe. We just need to lower the cost of the films. Like just make the production more manageable moving forward. They put a lot of money into this one because I think they needed this one to really establish itself. So I actually think they were willing to take a slight loss on this one, to be honest, just to get the universe started. 700 million for what DC has been getting recently, I think is really good. Right? Would you guys agree with that or disagree with that?
When you compare it to a lot of the recent stuff, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you can make money back, good. And I think it might be the overall thing is that the word of mouth is like people are intrigued or excited to learn more about the DC universe, then you got a hook. You got a hook and you run with it. And you let this stuff bake enough time and you don't start playing with the monkey in the wrench. Like, again, you know, how we talked about how Kevin Feige talked about the meeting with the creator crew to see what's the most best way to save money on VFX. You have to take that also into consideration with putting out shows and movies. Don't repeat history on both sides, both Marvel and DC. Like, make us wait for these shows and movies, and we will show up. There is an engagement to be had there, and there's a universe right there that's new, fresh. It might be familiar for a lot of us who've grown up with these characters, but I think when you see money like this, also take into consideration that like there's a new vibe with DC, and I wouldn't be surprised if you also look up the sales of books and comics that might be also going up as well. And so like when you see all these stuff play in motion, don't be afraid of it. And I mean, if they're worried about it, then that should say a lot about how you've managed this character for the past decade and a half. Not mistaken. Like, it's sad that it's been over a decade since I've seen a Superman movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, the thing about it is that they had such a shell shock from BVS that they were just like, "Fuck this, we're not going to do this." You know what I mean? And for all intents and purposes, I think that at the very least with this movie, we have a good idea of what James Gunn wants to do with this world.
Yeah.
You know, for better or worse, this is what we're going to get. And I think Peacemaker is also going to explain more of the direction of what we're going to see in James Gunn's world. And I have to say, I don't know if you were here when we talked about this, Ronan, but after seeing like 3 minutes of Supergirl, I'm ready for the Supergirl movie. Like that movie, I'm so excited for that one. I'm actually more excited for that one than I was for Superman after seeing her in the end of Superman.
I literally got her the trade of the book, and then I flew to San Diego and I got Tom King to sign it. And now I'm giddy to to read it, to do a review, to talk, to like engage. I've told this to Jake, like there part of me wants to like watch the episodes in Superman the animated series that she's in, and just us do a mini series of like Supergirl right before the movie comes out. What does she mean to us? And then like there's, and to let people know that like Peacemaker for the next few projects is the last thing that I think I could be wrong. I don't work in Hollywood. James doesn't have his hand in writing or directing. So you're getting a little bit more of this universe, and once you get Supergirl entrance, you're going to get something about this universe and whether or not it can manage coexisting with the stuff that is James Gunn's flavor. And so if those two projects, Supergirl entrance, hit, then hopefully that's opens the doors to everybody of both fans and creatives of like, what would you like to see out of this universe?
You were thinking Pandora's box, weren't you?
No. I wasn't. No, not Pandora's box, but just like the possibilities are endless. There's so. I mean, I've been telling Jake. I haven't seen the full review and listing because I was at Comic-Con, but like I know James Gunn broke down the mural that is in the Hall of Justice and who's in it, who's not in it, and I'm right now excited to see who's in it. And I've told Jake already that like I want Animal Man, I want the Question, I want Kyle Rayner Green Lantern.
I saw Sandman in that as well.
I saw Jack Kirby's Sandman, and I'm like,
we got
somewhere out there in the near future,
yeah.
we're gonna get a 40s movie with the Sandman, and that's gonna be pumped.
Well, that's I feel like, so what I think we got this month, to be quite honest, and I don't want to overstate it, but this was kind of for lack of a better term, a DC term, this is kind of like a rebirth of what superhero movies are going to be for the next decade. And I have to say, I'm really excited about what we have coming up for both DC and Marvel based on what we got. So even if you didn't love Superman or you didn't love Fantastic Four, at the very least, you have to see that they have a clear idea of what they want to do with these things moving down the road.
Which is a step up from how the old regime worked, because their plan before was throw 20 things at the wall and pray one of them sticks.
Yeah. Okay, so we got a couple more tiny things. Before we get into that, I want to read off our choices for the poll. I went deep on this one, super deep with some of these.
Yeah, he did.
Remember, these are top 5 lists. All these are top 5 lists. I heard that, Omega. Top 5 list. Worst Superman stories of all time.
Oh.
So these can be from anything: comic books, movies, TV shows, animated movies, animated shows. You could even go back to the Justice League animated or the Superman animated series.
Oh boy.
Best 90s sequels. Now, this is an interesting one because this can be sequels that happened in the 90s or sequels to things from the 90s. So it's two different things. So if there's a movie that came out recently that was a sequel to a 90s movie that you think deserves to be on that list, you can do that. Or if it's a movie that came out in the 90s that was a sequel to something from the 80s or the 70s, that counts as well. So best 90s sequels.
The Matrix Resurrection. I'm just kidding.
Oh gosh. The next one is best anime of all time.
Oh,
So that's going to be top 5 animes of all time.
That's gonna get ugly.
And top 5 worst video games of the 90s. So
Ooh, I got some thoughts on that one.
okay, so those are the choices. We're going to check that in a second, just to see where we end up.
I would like to
Let
do
me-
that anime one. That sounds fun.
Yeah, we'll see what people. Sometimes they surprise me. Sometimes they'll pick something where I'm like, why did
Yeah.
we pick? Like, why did we go for that one?
No, because when I threw that video game option in there that one time, I didn't expect that one to win.
Oh yeah, and it did. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hold on, I had another one here. Oh, I saw this. There's a clip. Somebody mentioned it in the chat. I think I bookmarked it. Let me double check here. Yeah. So I saw this. Mrs. Doubtfire star Matthew Lorett says he would love to bring back Robin Williams with AI. I would love, with respect and okay from his family, do not let them do this. To do something really special with his voice, because I know for a generation the voice is so iconic. Okay, panel.
To quote, I don't know if this is even appropriate, but to quote Vision, a thing isn't beautiful because it lasts. It broke my heart the day I found out that Robin Williams passed away.
Yeah.
And without going too personal, Mrs. Doubtfire really means a lot to me.
Mhm.
It helps.
It's one of those movies. Like you don't have to say anything more. I get it. Yeah.
And all respect to Matthew. I don't think this is the right way to go. If anything, even this, I wouldn't encourage it, but I'd rather take this over AI. If you want to do a limited series about a new version of Mrs. Doubtfire, just to explore those themes and what it means about connectivity and becoming somebody else, you can do that. But don't do that. If you want to work on a biopic of Robin Williams, go for it, but don't use AI. And
There's got to be a lot of footage from when this movie was filmed that's still in the vault somewhere that they could use to make a documentary or something along those lines.
Yeah, like this. I mean, it's not to the same extent, but I remember how long was it ago? Maybe a decade or maybe a little bit less, when I kept hearing that some movie was going to bring back James Dean, and I'll never forget the quote of hearing the producer saying that we searched high and low, and we couldn't find the right actor to bring this character to life, so we're going to bring back James Dean via AI or stuff like that. And I was just like,
I always hate when movies do that. Like, whether you're talking about, okay, I'll get the obvious one out of the way. Whether you're talking about things like The Flash or Ghostbusters Afterlife did the same thing. I didn't like it there either, because with that one specifically, they actually made a full performance out of Ernie Hudson, Harold Ramis' character.
Yeah.
Where they actually made a full performance out of that, where it's just not something that sits right with me, because it doesn't feel like a genuine part of the movie.
Yeah.
Feels like something that you just hobbled together for. I get there can be good intentions behind it, but it's just never sat right with me.
I'm really against bringing dead back to life.
There's something weird about it. Like, isn't it? Doesn't it feel weird? We're in an era where this is something that people could do. Yeah, you could do this, but the question is, like, should you do it? Like, it is possible, but should we be doing it? And that really does.
Like what they're apparently doing with Fast and Furious, where they're going to have.
I'm so worried about that because of what was said. I'm so worried about that.
Yeah, I'm really worried. I mean, I think they handled it the best they could back in the day whenever he passed during the filming, and they had his brother come in and finish it off. I was like, okay, they were dealt a very unfortunate hand. They did the best they could, and then that sends his character off well.
Right. Off topic, but low key, yeah.
Yes.
I would be totally okay with this as a whole.
That's how you do it. That's how you introduce. You could introduce Logan that way. Yep.
Right. Yeah. Do like a TV special of this. A little bit of a poll, but that Wolverine's Revenge game back in the day. It's like 21 years old at this point. Do something
Oh,
like
no.
that in like TV episode.
Someone
form.
just sent me. He apparently said something about Superman. Have you guys seen this clip?
Who's he?
No.
This guy, Matthew Lawrence.
Oh.
He said something about Superman.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh God.
Here we go. I don't know what this is. Someone just sent it to me.
Short
This
answer.
got me. This really got me. I'm a huge animal lover. I work in conservation. I have more pets than I can count. Most of them reptiles and amphibians. But I've had some amazing connections with dogs over the years.
Yeah.
And that is not the relationship that I wanted to see. I think it needed more heart. It needed more depth. He was kind of like, this dog. I don't really care about this dog. And then the dog leaves him at the end of the movie.
Just watching the dog.
That connection, if you've had a dog and you've had a real connection with your dog, that is not it. And I wish I would have seen that because that always needs to be highlighted in the right way.
It wasn't his dog.
Nope.
To quote Tarantino, I reject your hypothesis. That is, I disagree with that. I mean, he doesn't even care. It's just like he's like, I gotta, at one point he goes away from a conversation with Lois to be like, he's out there alone.
And he goes to face Lex about this.
Yeah.
And yes, and it's just like if that's not caring, I don't know what the hell is.
I just
saw a
I mean,
totally different movie than what he did.
And this is somebody, he's an actor. He's still been on TV shows and stuff as of the last 4 or 5 years. So the fact that he didn't understand that part of the movie, which is so obvious, has me a little bit concerned.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, and going back on with the whole AI thing, it's like, I don't hate AI, I just don't respect it. Because it's, you didn't make anything. You told a computer, you put a bunch of text in the computer and it spat out what it thought you wanted.
Yeah.
I can respect the creative mind behind it when it's you doing your own thing.
Yeah. So Outer Space Turtle, who just became a channel member. Thank you so much. By the way, I love your your profile picture here. 199 super chat. Did you see the Snyder guy who tried crashing San Diego Comic-Con? I heard he called out Chainsaw. Is that true?
So Chainsaw called out him first.
Right.
And then the guy made a full-on live stream apparently rebuking back against it.
And he basically set the thing for like 20 minutes so that people can't call him out, because I think that was the time of the live stream.
The limit?
Yeah, limit of commenting. You have to be like 20 minutes subscribed to comment.
Oh, I got what you're saying. So he said it in 20 minutes and then he didn't let people talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still catching up. I did notice that Chainsaw did cover this one. I was at the panel for Peacemaker. I didn't see nobody, make some hectic stuff. There was a lot of cheering. I mean, at one point, this might have breaking that guy's heart, but at one point, James Gunn got a standing ovation, which I stood up and applauded, and everybody, John Cena did, the whole audience did, for like a solid 30 seconds, minute, applauding James Gunn of like, you did good with Superman. We're looking forward to the rest of the DC universe. Beyond that, I still have a lot to catch up. If this is the case, it sucks that this is still going on. But I was there at San Diego Comic-Con, and the vibe for DCU onwards is looking like
people are happy about it.
People are happy about it. People are interested to see more. They may not have liked the movie as a whole, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people like the movie as a whole.
That's what I was saying earlier. I think that we can at least see there's a path to like where they want to go with all this.
Bright future,
yeah.
And I had fun with the movie, so I mean, I still have to catch up on all this nonsense.
Who is this person? Does anybody know what the guy's name is?
No,
I don't know. New Monster 69. I don't know.
I was trying to see if there's anything on social media about it, but I don't see anything.
That's a deep cut.
I don't know.
Someone said he made a
I have his
TikTok
name right here
about Chainsaw.
I think
it's SKII Walker ENT.
I think
Walker Texas Ranger.
About it.
No, like Skywalker.
Walker.
Yeah. So it's SKII Walker.
Skeet. What is this? Yin Yang Twins or something?
I was gonna say I think Canadagraphs even did something covering it.
Did he?
The whole thing that went down. I thought he did. I might be wrong.
I know. I just woke up and I got a notification. I'm like, Okay, I'll get to this.
Oh, it's like I'm literally like as I'm walking back to my car from the GalaxyCon yesterday, my phone just starts blowing up with all that. I was like, I'm about to fucking drive. I can't look at this right now. And then I get back, I was like,
Hold on, wait.
oh,
Is this the guy here?
Yeah.
the hell?
I guess. What if...
It's like he's dressed in the black Superman suit from Justice League. And what is it?
Boys.
What is that? Hold on, let me open this in another window.
do we have to?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. I want to see what it says.
Trending day 214. Sell something.
Sell
Yeah,
the Snyderverse to Netflix and all that shit.
And
Yeah.
you have people, I even said this on my stream last night, you have people that are just committed to the movement and not actually in support of the person that this movement is based around.
That's crazy, man.
I saw Twilight of the Gods.
Same.
I
saw Twilight of the Gods. I saw Army of the Dead. Like,
Yep.
I saw all these things. You try to talk about any of those or other related projects with these supposed fans of his, and they always flip the conversation back around. Hey, restore the Snyderverse. Hey, bring Cavill back as Superman. It's like, if you're actually a fan of this person the way you claim to be, you'd look at more than one aspect of their work.
I want to see
All right.
season 2 of Twilight of the Gods.
Someone sent me a.
I want to
hold
see
on.
that LAPD thing that he's coming out with.
Oh, I love the what is it? Twilight of the Gods. I love.
Yeah,
that
that was
one. I thought
great.
it was really
Yeah.
good. That was actually my favorite thing he's done in a long time.
Same.
Same here.
All right, this is a video that somebody says he's talking about Chainsaw. I don't know if this is right or not, but let me pitch it up here. Playback speed. Let's go with 125. I don't know how this guy talks, but
You know, it's crazy how I'm here kind of chilling, right? We on the water, you know what I mean? Celebrating, got my sangria.
Can you drop
Feel like I'm living a pirate life, you know what I'm saying? Like, here chilling, enjoying the day after a successful weekend. You know, we went to go see Fantastic Four, fan event, super dope. Had to go to my first Comic-Con, you know what I'm saying? It was all H.
is this the right guy?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Front row, you super dope.
What is he even doing? We're
right?
this far into the
Came
video,
back
and he's not
stream.
said nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Got up this morning, we played basketball, about to go have a family screening of CSJL, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Got some family members coming over.
How many times can you watch that movie? Like seriously, like just over and over and over again. Just
I mean, I get doing it in segments, but it's 4 damn hours long.
what do you say? A family screening of that?
I
Okay.
guess.
Because some of them ain't seen the movie and they trying to come through, so going to have the refreshments and everything. I'm just enjoying life,
Okay.
right? And somehow we didn't got another contestant to go on that Summer Jam screen.
So apparently, this is he's talking about Chainsaw, is what someone said.
Apparently this video came out from Chainsaw Reacts,
Oh.
so I ain't seen it yet. Ain't seen a second of it. I'm chilling, but I will be pulling up on stream after my family leave and all that. We're gonna have a discussion tonight, and time to have some real talk. So, yeah, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Sunday, man. Hope y'all living it up. You did. And
Imagine
Can
that.
you please like drop your phone in the water? I don't want to listen. To this.
I just, you know what? I'm totally cool with Chainsaw and everything, but can you imagine that someone like me or Chainsaw makes a video about you and you're at San Diego Comic-Con and you're like, yeah, I'm going to make a whole ass clip to call out someone that didn't like my opinion about something.
Hey man, you're popular.
I have to give it to him. Like Chainsaw gets under these people's skin. Like this is like the first time they've.
Well, you
Like,
don't even
going
have
after
to
him,
try
so-
with these people.
I guess with him it's different because somebody says he responds to everybody. So, but he didn't. Apparently, he didn't even tag Chainsaw in the tweet.
And again, without the context, all I know is that he's at Comic-Con. He's having a drink in the middle of the ocean or the beach. He's vlogging, and that he's gonna go see Zack Snyder's Justice League.
While he's at Comic-Con.
Yeah, that's all I know. Like that's
You're going to take 4 hours of your time at Comic-Con to go watch.
The movie you've already seen.
Why even pay to go at that point?
I was doing my best to watch FF before Comic-Con so I could just stay in Gaslamp. I didn't want to go
Right.
out. And,
Right. But the difference is like that's a movie you hadn't seen at the time, so you're trying to get a screening in there as soon as you can and get a fresh perspective on it.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh my god! That is
Guess he's doing a video.
I don't know the meaning behind that, but
oh my!
It's a long story anyway,
Okay.
but it's funny. It's funny. All right, so let's see what you guys picked for our next thing. Which, by the way, we'll restarting these on Thursday because we'll be out of like the talking about new stuff phase. So
I'm guessing, are we going to do like a handful of these on Thursday?
oh yeah, for sure.
All right.
I mean, barring some major announcement, which I don't think we're going to get that, but we'll see. Here we go. What do we got? With 42%. Wow, 42% is best 90s sequels. So this is sequels that either came out in the 90s or sequels of things from the 90s. So that's the way that list goes.
I want that anime back on the list for.
Well, remind me next time. I'll do the top 5 anime. On another
Just kind of hoping for that video game one to win again.
Well, remind me for that one too. Then next time we do it. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to wrap everything up for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're at just over the 2-hour mark, so it's more like a regular stream. Last episode was very short. People complained. It was only an hour and 30 minutes. It was still a long podcast, okay? Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Lance for dropping in and basically trying to talk shit to us, which I thought was funny. We have Jake in the building here next to me. On the other side of Jake over there, we have 3W. I'm going to say the whole thing. 3W Creative Crusader. So, and below him, we have Omega in the house, who did not go and watch adult anime, otherwise called hentai. I didn't watch that. And then Ronan Unchained for dropping in for his first time on the Nerdcast. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And definitely go over and check out his channel where he's going to be making 5 videos a day talking about all the movies, all the problems with trailers and movies. 5 videos a day. Go over and check it out.
That will take more than 5 videos.
Just kidding. Anyway, with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Thursday. Bye, everyone.